I'm RoshanToshniwa. I work with the Transparency and team Center for Development Finance. And well, I'm an architect and an urban planner. So, what's Transparency Chennai? Transparency Chennai, as the name suggests, is creating transparency of data, information, map analysis, and power citizens, and with the power of information, and they empower citizens with the power of information through maps to be used for knowing the city better. Certain layers which are not to be seen. At Transparency, we are working primarily in these 5 topics right now: inclusive planning, community mapping, sanitation, slums, and transport and pedestrian issues. I'll be trying to talk about road and safety issues related to transport and pedestrian issues. How do we make our roads safer? Yeah. All of us travel by bikes, 4-wheelers. Are we really using our legs to do any walking nearby? So we'll see how we make our roads safer. The outline of this particular presentation that I have made is road safety, why it is important, where do accidents occur in the city, whom does it affect, who is responsible for the road safety, institutions, policy and enforcement, there is a fund, stats, small part of finance, and the existing road safety infrastructure, and we try to give our insight into it, and challenges and the future. Way forward would be that. Let me begin with why road safety. Because it's the 9th leading cause of death today, and soon expected to be the 5th leading cause by 2030. India has the highest accident and fatality rates in the world. It surpassed China in 2008. It's the leading cause of unnatural death in the world. It's assumed that 37% of the unnatural death is through road safety. Through road accidents. Sorry. And after that comes suicide. Many people also suicide when coming in front of the car, but then it's considered a road accident. And Tamil Nadu has reported the maximum number of counting the 14.4% of the country's accidents in a week. We have given you the wrong figures. Anyway, so let me continue some such. You want to take another one? Or does the animation work in this? Yeah, this is all in animation. Anyway, so now I'm picking answer the finisher. And the economic cost of road safety is considered between 1 to 2% of the gross national product. Now this is calculated by loss of man days, the compensation that is being given to people who die in road accidents, and the medical expenses. So in India, the economic cost of road accidents is evaluated almost at 3% of the GDP. 99-2000 data that I had, it was evaluated at 55,000 crores. That kind of losses that is there because of road accidents. So apart from that, now that I've said so much about road safety, by Chennai, and when you look at it, tall tower, Mumbai is at. Sorry, I started with data quality here. Mumbai has like 29,781 reported accidents, whereas when you combine the 3 major cities, Bangalore, Chennai, and Delhi, you still don't have enough to counter Mumbai, as in terms of the reported accidents. So there must be a problem of reporting, or rather there is a data gap, which is why You could say Chennai has underreported, for that matter. Chennai, Bangalore, Delhi has underreported, but the number of deaths that have happened, Delhi has like a stagnating 2,093 deaths in 8,435 accidents. That's practically like every fourth accident there has been a death. Chennai has been the accident hub of India for the past between 2005 to 2007, before Delhi and Bangalore overtook it, and now it's the third highest in terms of fatalities. Now, so where do these accidents occur in the city? Any guesses? Where do these accidents happen? Have you ever been in an accident? Have you been in a road accident?
Which area? Which area?
Yeah, I'm asking in the city. Have you encountered an accident? Have you ever seen an accident? Many, multiple.
Accidents of the market allowed road every day.
Yeah.
That's the one way I used to try to work.
Signals? Yeah. Where the accidents generally occur. Why do they occur like that? So then people don't follow signals, that's what you're trying to say.
And also intersections.
Okay. Yeah, right. So good, that's end this one. Now when we look at the number of accidents, suburbs have more accidents than the city. And rather, more number of people who die are in suburbs than in the city. This is the past 3 years record. And the suburbs, somehow it stagnated in the city because of the congestion and traffic slowing down. You have that has come down. Otherwise, suburbs is still increasing. Any of you know Chennai map reasonably well? Like what do you call suburbs? I'm sorry, confusing. So here, put an entry on visiting as to where the suburbs lies. The corporation is the green lines. These are the zones. And the blue lines are the suburbs, the city planned expansion, which you could call the suburbs. That's where the accident actually happens. This is like the map generated in transparent Chennai. Transparent Chennai. Courtesy goes to transparent Chennai. Now, these are the places where maximum accident occurs. There are like 69 arterial roads in the city, of which 23 arterial roads account for 47% of the accidents. These are the name of those roads. They're relating them to the city. As you said, Madhya Kailash, SP road is there. Yeah. So, the annoying thing is that these 3 roads, which are called lifeline city, 100 feet road, Anasara, India, etc. Now, the oldest roads account for 18% of the accidents. We believe these roads are not being maintained by the corporation. And I want you to keep this number in your mind because I'll tell you why in my later slide. So, whom do these accidents affect most? Again, I am asking you a question. Whom do these accidents affect most? Fellow travelers, no, but I'm saying by the... Yeah, let's say, okay, the working group, the children, the mode of commuting, like pedestrian or two-wheelers, whom does it affect? Two-wheelers the most? Go and see now. Accidents by age, when you look at it, the working group is the one which gets most affected. Between 15 to 29 is, as you say, the highest. And I think as you grow older, the accident rates come down. So and by number of men and women, so men it's always been high, because probably women drivers are better at that. Which are denied it. So,
Don't say that.
this is the courier who gets affected by modern commuting. Pedestrian get feeling unnecessary time. I'm a pedestrian. Everyone is a pedestrian because even a motorist at some point of time is a pedestrian. Every should start and end with a walk. And it's reported that 43% of the number of people whom I showed got killed, pedestrians last year. Staggering number. And people who get affected by the accident, 33% are the slow moving traffic, 27% is the pedestrian, 6% is the cyclists. Cyclists have kind of disappeared altogether. Probably because of the accidents. Who is responsible for the road safety? Who can you catch? Whose neck will you catch in case of accident? Why will you catch? This is the institutions that are responsible that comes into the category of, let us divide the institutions in three forms. One is the road and infrastructure, road and pedestrian infrastructure. Policy and enforcement and funds and tax to maintain this. Now, roads and pedestrian infrastructure, as I said, in Chennai, 5 roads are being maintained by the City Road Division of the State Highway Department, the biggest roads. And the Corporation of Chennai maintains the remaining roads. But then, till 2006, the City Road Division used to maintain 7 corridors of roads. Slowly, the Corporation has kind of, said we have money and we can start maintaining them. Policy and enforcement, Chennai Traffic Police is responsible for that. And funds and taxes, money comes from the Regional Transport Office. So, and there is a road safety committee which decides as to where they should spend money. Now, what have they been doing in terms of policy? On 28th May, I know you guys will be knowing that you're supposed to wear a helmet. And the funny thing is, it's only ₹50. So instead of buying, what the government's policy has become, you can't force them to wear it, let them find them to wear it, not wear it. And ₹50 probably because instead of driving, let the money go to the exchequer. Yes. What are the salient? Sorry, before I really talk about the policy, just give you a little background on the policy front. Before they really begin as to how they should tackle it, they formulated a committee at national level, the Sundar Committee, in 2005, and this committee had suggested that a road safety committee be formulated, which is independent and which could work, with the coordinate with different agencies, as TRI is or as CERC is, which are regulating agencies, which this agency wanted to be implemented. Tamil Nadu adopted a road safety policy in 2007, and these are the features that the adoption, the policy they adopted to achieve a 20% reduction in the fatalities and injuries by 2030. But when you saw the figures, it was only rising from 2006 to 2008. It peaked to 31% when you compare it with the base of 2006, and now it's increased. I'm comparing it with the base year. It's still 5% higher than what it is. So, now they want to really reduce 20% by another 2 years. I don't know how they do it. Anyway, so they selected the 4 E's to do the job: the engineering, enforcement, education, and emergency medical response. And enforcement in particular, probably, because institutional and financial mechanism lies in there. So if you have a good enforcement, everything else tends to take care. Now, who heads the road safety committee? In other districts, there are only 2 people in the road safety committee. There is this district collector and the highest police officer, commissioner of police in that particular district, who are the road safety committee in that. But in Chennai, you have so many people, so getting too many cooks for the job. Yeah, mistake. Yeah. So the Commissioner of Police and Additional Commissioner of Police, they are sitting at the helm of the organization, the chairman and the member secretary. And how this road safety committee works is they formulate a budget and then they send the budget to the transport commissioner. The transport commissioner approves a certain money that he can keep. It comes back here and within the organization they decide that okay, this is what they can allocate. Now how is it being implemented, the road safety? Before I come back to that, before the road safety committee, road safety committee came into being in 2000, year 2000, okay? And earlier they had the Home Secretary who used to head the organization and head the committee, and the Home Secretary had formulated a road safety fund. This road safety fund was the money which was collected through fines in this thing, and that money used to be used for safety purposes. But then they found it's inadequate. So the administration of the transport division is divided in 12 zones in Tamil Nadu for tax collection and safety. Road safety tax they had started in 2009. So this Chennai zone comprises of Kanchipuram, Tiruvallur, and Chennai is divided in two zones, north and south. Chennai has 11 RTOs. Road safety tax that has been implemented since August 2009. How many of you have bought your vehicles after August 2009? So you would have paid this tax without even knowing. 150 for a motorcycle, 1,500 for a car, 2,000 for other vehicles. And then after that, they formulated a road safety tax monitoring committee, which is still in being. I overheard this information from Transport Commissioner's office. So I'll tell you more about that. When you look at the committee members, none of them are in the member of the road safety committee. They are the road safety tax monitoring committee. They are all big IAS officers, maybe in multiple committees. How much time are they going to actually devote to this? That's where road safety is kind of being sidelined. When we look at the road safety tax month-wise collection in Chennai, that is, I am dividing it north and south, you'll see that the southern part of Chennai has a huge amount of tax that they. It's almost double. Like 5.5 crore is what they collected in north, and 9.9 crore is what they collected in south. That makes about 3.5 crores, which is last financial year that they collected. And the road safety tax that is being collected in entire Tamil Nadu is 36 crores last year, and last year, and 83 crores this year. So much of tax has been collected. Now, what have they done with the money? This is what they've done with the money. The past 2006 to 2010, you can see that 84 crore rupees have been spent in entire Tamil Nadu and on road safety, which 37 has been spent on purchasing equipment. Now, road safety equipment can be anything from speed guns to CCTV signals. Then how much money have they actually put in infrastructure? See, pittance 11 crore is what they've done. 25 crore is what they've done in terms of black spots. In Chennai, suddenly from 96 lakhs, they've reduced the money to 5 lakhs. And you've seen in 2008, the accidents peaked up. It jumped from what it was in 2006 by 31%. And now it's 2.31 crore is what they've been getting. 15.5 crore rupees they collected and 2.31. And all this money is being given to the police. Nothing is being given to the corporation. Paying any Now, does the police commissioner have enough money to work? Fortunately not. When I spoke to the additional commissioner of police, he says being quoted for 10 crores. We got only 2.31 crores. That's the money that transport commissioner has given them to work with. Where has this money being spent? Trauma, compensation, education, and engineering for the highway, the 4 or 5 roads that the highway department has. But what about prevention? Have they thought about upgrading pedestrian infrastructure in the city? See to that next. Okay, there's one more thing that I wanted to indicate. That every day in Chennai they're adding 1780 bikes, 1780 vehicles every day on an average, and this vehicle growth has been 10% for the past 5 years, which is phenomenal. And we've not added that many roads. Where are these vehicles going to go? They're only going to crash into each other. So, this is the mode of commute that is. This is a chart that I've got from the household survey that they did for the DPR of Chennai Metro. And according to them, 32.7% people actually walk to wherever they have to walk. Wherever they have to go. This is the number 2. So, on an average, they say 1.6 is a trip per person. And, then you can evaluate that 32% is how many trips. And this number is a little outdated because it's 2005. Now, the total of train and bus is 29%. With the metro, we intend to go up to 55% for the share of public transport. So, what kind of infrastructure is available for pedestrians in the city? And where it is being built? So I showed you the zone map, and where all are the, if you evaluate, Chennai is divided north and south. So this is the zone inventory of the footpaths, roads, and harbours where they are occupying. Now, according to IRC is Indian Road Congress. Indian Road Congress formulated a guideline for pedestrian infrastructure, and according to them, pavement is considered a pavement only if it is 1.5 meters wide and if it's unobstructed. So this is the figure that I have received from various zonal offices in the city. If you look at it, Zone 8 somehow has, you could say, meets the requirement of ideal sidewalks. Not entirely, but then a huge percentage of it has this thing. And we say every time that hawkers, if we build more pavements, hawkers tend to occupy it. I want to correct that also. That if you look at it, there are 241 kilometers of pavement. Only 13 kilometers are being occupied in Zone 8. Zone 8 is the busiest part of the city. Srinagar and Kodambakkam. Yeah. So, this is all government data. So, yeah. So they are the highest number of pavement in that particular zone, in that category. Like, if you look at Zone 3, 15.46 kilometers pavement is there in 1 to 1.45 meters. There is, all the others are little. That's the maximum in that particular zone. And the red part of it, that there's only one red. If you look at the total inventory of the sidewalks, you see that Zone 2, which is Basin Bridge in that side, has the lowest amount of sidewalks in the city. For that matter, the entire northern region, that is Zone 1, 2, 3, from Ennore till Zone 3 is Patalam. Patalam is near the railway station. They got the least amount of sidewalks. It doesn't even evaluate to what it is in Zone 8, the inventory that they have. And the Corporation of Chennai, how much money it spends only about 45 lakh rupees on pavement. And surprisingly, Zone 10, I don't know what time they did, two colors, they get only 1,000 rupees last year. Zone 10 is this area, Adyar and yeah, so put over bridges and subways in the city. Ideally, what urbanists and urban designers say, they don't like, or rather they don't consider put over bridges and pavements as a infrastructure. Look at New York for that matter. The Times Square doesn't have a pedestrian or doesn't have a subway or a foot-over bridge. Well, it's the busiest junction in the city, and not town. And we have built so many. Now, the calculation is such that if one has to wait for over 120 seconds, and then there is a heavy pedestrian and vehicular traffic, then so that they don't come into conflict, they build these infrastructure. Do you think this is sufficient? 25 pedestrian subways and 32 foot-over bridges? Or do you think we need to build more, or do you think there should be another alternative to it?
These roads on OMR,
OMR has only some foot-over bridges.
there are few foot-over bridges which are really far away from each other and they are unused. And on ECR, there's not any work. And the worst part is ECR does not have roadways. So when you're actually driving through ECR in the night, people just cross over and get on to the median and go, and you can hardly see themselves. So, I mean, it's so scary. And
yeah, but the thing is, ECR and OMR does not fall in the Chennai jurisdiction, as in Chennai corporation.
it's expanding.
It's expanding.
If you live there, there are so many townships and apartments. Road life.
Right.
Leave alone pedestrian houses.
And these are the number of traffic signals, painstakingly mapped in, 218 of them. And of which 39 facilitate pedestrian movement. How much? By meaning 39 facilitate pedestrian movement, they have a signage where you think, wow, nobody really follows it. You think the motorists really care? They don't really care. They have to go 229.
There are a few steps.
Yeah.
Leads to the time where you can actually cross the
Halfway. That's also an important point to indicate. There are 29 CCTV cameras. By showing them in the map, I think I'm putting the police data into jeopardy, because you might be careful when you're crossing. You might not pay any fine or anything. It might be a big trouble for them. Okay, so there are traffic cameras and pedestrian crossings in the city. And where are they located? These are the subdivisions of the places. Ananagar seems to have maximum of them because probably they have a lot of schools and hospitals, and it's primarily a residential area. But if you look at the northern side, again, there are zebra crossings, but then not adequate pedestrian crossings. That is the area where there is port and the traffic goes by. And it's an old part of the city, so they're not adequate. The roads are pretty narrow. So, dealing with this traffic congestion has created more obstacles for pedestrians. The easiest way that they've resorted to is building flyovers or making one-ways. I have some data on the one-ways. Look at it, Flower Bazaar. All of you are aware that there is Flower Bazaar, Pukade police station. Yeah, that has the highest number of one-ways in that area. And this is the North Zone data. Look at it. 59% of the length of one-ways are simulated there. And because the roads are narrow, they can't build flyovers, so they make it one way. And because the port, now they are intending to make that expressway, from Motherwell till all the way to the port, so that it's fast. building this road infrastructure or widening the road, does it really help? It only adds to accidents. And this is the metro map. And when you look at it, how would you access the metro? You access the metro only by walking. What kind of pedestrian infrastructure lies in these areas? The kind of pedestrian from subways to bridges, traffic signals. I've not mapped every of them, but whatever is in that vicinity is mapped these things. So, I told you to remember that figure 80% of the accidents occur in the street or rise on this road. Do you think there is a point that I'm going to make? I'm considering how much more pedestrian infrastructure needs to be added on these areas, widening of sidewalks and stuff. With this, how do we go forward? These are some suggestions that I just put together. I know there are many more. Discouraging use of private vehicles altogether. So many cities have done it by ways of congestion tax, by ways of improving their transport, public transport infrastructure, by restricting the number of vehicles to be registered in the city. Chennai, I started doing it now. And more vigilant in their task mark. Now they're doing so many task mark jobs.
I have to interesting process.
Yeah.
Friend of mine in college who is coming into my house. I had an example, so it's a long way. But he comes in and says, you know what? Every bus stop has a parking appointment. Every bus stop.
Yeah, close to it, yeah. So then, either you shut down these, 40% of the accident compounds are actually occurring because of company. So, I know government needs to earn money, but then not at the cost of human life. So, that's why I think Gujarat is considered one of the safest places. Anyway, so more citizen participation by, we as citizens, we as residents have a right to secure our neighborhood by being a part of committees and doing whatever is needful, from making speed breakers to laying down certain things within our neighborhood and putting traffic calmers in the nation, like I don't have left so laying cobblestones or rough surface at these junctions. When you have free left turn, you should have some traffic islands that pedestrians can cross and have a refuge. Motorists should respect the pedestrian space and rights and obey traffic rules. I'll just end this presentation to start chain reactive saying that streets and sidewalks are the main public spaces in the city, reflects the city, and when you cannot secure this, how will the city live? It's like road accidents are like a malignant cell which will kill the city in course of time slowly. Not even know. So I would say thank you for listening to me patiently, and we are hosting a public meeting tomorrow in IFMR Business School. So please do come to it. And apart from me, there will be 3 other speakers who will be much more interesting. I am just gathered some data which please. Any questions? Yeah, sorry. Oh, very difficult. I had five. Yeah. So I had filed an RTI way back on 27 January 2011, and on what are the widths of sidewalks in various zones. I'm surprised to know the last data that I received was yesterday evening. That was not complete. You would have seen they were like on the road section. There were two no replies, zone 3 and zone 9. In the back to that one. And not just that, it took a lot of focusing from our end. I have been to the corporation office. I've been to the corporation office 4 times before I really got this data. So you could see that zone 3 and zone 9 there is no reply on the road length which I had asked them in my RTA. People really don't bother to reply to an RTA, and I don't know how authentic is this information also. Hey, if I show you my data that I've got in the form of these RTIs, you'll be surprised that it's so difficult to manage with those data. Sometimes you say there's the zone 1 data that says, that they have a 23 meter wide sidewalk. I mean, have you ever seen a 23 meter wide sidewalk? So, yeah, that's first is the dot exactly. No, the length is also given, which is why I know the length. This is why I've calculated. I asked them width and length of these sidewalks. Many of these zones say that they don't even know. They had this National Urban Transport Policy straight after they had a small section in pedestrian, but then, yeah, in particular. Because the motorists pay a tax, but we don't pay a tax. We don't have it. No constitutional law that we have a right to walk. If you get killed, you get a compensation of 10,000. It's a pretend doing compared to. Tomorrow meeting, we have. We're talking about again road safety and pedestrian infrastructure in the city. Opportunity for citizens to intervene and take part in the whole decision making in the development process. AP Subramaniam, who's a traffic engineer. He'll be there as a guest speaker. This Pradhan, who's head of department at Chennai University and Planning. So, apart from that, we have a big activist who's disabled. Handicap. I mean, we will be talking about these to take the awareness and creating. If you can build, if a disabled person can cross the road, anybody can cross the road. So that's not a disabled person can do it. In the eyes of how disabled can do that. Another mental, another person can just become how active so you get all these active. Can we So if
been working on this for a long time. So
Yeah.
what was it? And we come across so many problems in this. So do you like have any figure of anything that you want to do? It could be like keeping
Oh yes, we want to draft the road safety policy and see that under that policy we want to give the residents and citizens the right to decide the fate of the road. Decide the fate of the road is right, meaning that whether they really require a flyover, whether they really require certain barricades. But same thing is residents and citizens.
But can you think of something that people, themselves, not like going to policies and people like instead of that, like maybe about like one and have to be residents in that area and see if they can do something about it, like keeping the forestry and
Sidewalk, maintaining sidewalk.
yeah, do something, like they're doing it and can be adopted in other areas.
Okay, there was this group called Walking Classes United from Gujarat Institute of Development Studies. Karen started that, and they used to do this thing called Walk Audit, where they used to take measure of how the pedestrian infrastructure is there in that part of the city. And there was also a group called Fix It, which used to just go and fix whatever flagpoles were there in the city, because the city administration was not really concerned about it. But somehow, until you don't have a right to do a particular thing, till you are not bound by duty, by responsibility, you don't do it. Like it.
We've been talking about maybe that somebody serve as a knowledge partner for that.
I think DC can do something to this work.
Yeah, on one.
No, just
Just the
Rajati
time
stuff.
yeah.
and
We see
the problem that there is no revenue.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
for us and the idea.
What things happen? We talk about operating and so that things that what it is, right now they are see that things that go down the whole section. I don't see hawkers as people with research. I don't know, that's a different thing. That's a very big, everybody, no other people will find it. Seriously, what is the position of hawkers? What is the position
Not just that, they are service providers. I mean, without, have you not bought anything from Hawkers? I mean, everyone bought.
No, I'm saying like,
I'm just saying.
they should not be thrown out, like,
I know you're talking for it, but I'm saying
No,
in general, people, why do they?
The point that Sid was making is that sometimes when RWA introduce new parts, what has happened in many cities is that there has been a very middle class oriented, has not taken cognizance of may not have the same household.
also going back to, I didn't complete this whole thing. So it's an interesting study that is interesting. So they want to remove all the hawkers from the street and put them up in the like elevated bridges so that people can go up and do. But something happened over the course of time, so like the charm of the street or everything is lost. So they wanted the hawkers to like back in the street. So there are more like people like using the pedestrian. So you can do something like using everything, not just.
What is the difference between
pedestrian. What they did is they just made the sidewalk broader. That's it. If you really look at pedestrianization in some parts of the city, Delhi in Delhi is Chandni Chowk is a good example. In Hyderabad, we stretched on Charminar and the Nani and the Mecca Masjid area. That's all pedestrianized, and that's where people sound the city.
Starting places in the sort of like take a sketch of road and put some offers like, for every 100 meters or so. And tell them, okay, this is your area, you should take care of it. So that it's like making more than
Telling, there's a policy also. That 2009, we formulated a policy for street vendor policy. Under that, anyway, this is that since the policy exists, under the policy they have to have a town vending committee, and they will decide as to where in this stretch they would have offers. Not just that, this town vending committee comprises of people from the various hawker associations, and the official will be collecting a license tax, a license charge from them to vend anywhere.